bugging you are pests, unwanted guests.
Hi, how are you? My name is Rob with Halt Pest Control. Hey, I just want to take a little time. It's February and we had just gone through a little snowstorm. It was horrible, but you know what? It's 40 degrees. And right before that, we had already started to do some ant work. Some carpenter ants, in fact, and they were in some structures where it was warm enough that the males had first come out and they were starting to see them. Anyway, I just want to talk to you a little bit about some mythologies with ants. Ants have been here before we were here. Our houses look to these ants like logs were in the forest. Anyway, I just want to take a little bit of time and talk to you about some of the common myths that we hear about ants from our customers. A lot of times we'll get there and this time of year and they will say, every year these ants show up. They come for a while and then they're gone. Not so. In the majority of cases, those ants have persisted in that house over time. They've been there throughout the season. And as resources become scarce for them, or they want to start to exploit the food and moisture, they're going to come out and come out into the house in most cases. Anyway, especially in early spring. So it's not that the ants come and go every year, it's that they're in the structure. And it's particularly bad if they're carpenter ants, because carpenter ants are in that structure for a period of time and working on the wooden members or the structure of the house itself. But anyway, ants in general don't come and go. They come and stay, and they just become apparent to you more, in one time or another. Sort of the other myth that we always see is I see big ants and I see small ants. In that case, you're seeing two species of ants. It's not just one species of ants. In general, if you're seeing an ant bigger than like a 1/16 of an inch or something, it's usually a carpenter ant, and that's something that you want to pay attention to. The smaller ants are maybe a couple of different species, an odorous house ant or a pavement ant, depending on where you're seeing them. But it's not that they're two different sizes, it's just that they're two different species. And then the other thing that's a challenge to us sometimes is that the homeowner usually has a cure-all for something to get rid of the ants when they appear. It can be Raid, it can be, Windex, whatever, and people generally have their favorite go-to, whatever it has to be. And then they say the ants go away. Not true. What you've done is two things you've probably done. Number one, you've killed a really small portion of the colony. Only 1/10 of that colony is out foraging at any one time. So you've killed just a really small part of that colony. And number two, depending on the species of ant, you've maybe caused it to be worse. And that's what happens. People spray these ants with various materials and they start to node off, especially odorous house ants or odoriferous house ants. Those are those small ants you see up on the counters, coming out of light switches, etc. And as a defense mechanism, these ants have spun out new queens and started new colonies or moved the colonies throughout the structure, and depending on how long you've been spraying them depends on how bad it is. And in those cases we have some pretty sophisticated baits and other strategies that we can use. But the do-it-yourself spray in general is not going to take care of your problem. Anyway, those are just some of the common things that we hear, and I just wanted you to be aware of them. If you have ants, please give us a call, and we can take care of them for you very easily. Anyway, this is Rob, Halt Pest Control. You can see us on our website, www.haltpestcontrol.com. Thank you.
Our bugs, bugging you are pests, unwanted guests. Bring your pest problems to a halt.